Hello! Hello! Hi, chat! Hi! I'm... I finally got the stream up for the week. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Things get busy. Each time I think I'm ready to go for hard week of just trying to do some content stuff. Real life finds a way to kick me in the balls. I make it sound more worse than it really was. It wasn't that worse, you know, it felt like it, but as even near her there, they finally got a chance to come back to here. We were supposed to do Silent Hill the other day, but we're gonna do Silent Hill tonight and tomorrow. And not sure about this week, next week. I want to try to do a stream on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and leave everything but Saturday. That's what I think I want to do. That's what I think I want to do. I'm not sure yet. Not sure how all that's going to fit into place. We're gonna try. We're gonna see how it all goes. But yeah, let's just kind of start into the game because I'm not sure how long I can stream for. Because as soon as we're done with this, I need to write and record a couple things. So I want to try to do at least three plot points, three plot thingamajigs. I want to try to at least do 3 of those. Then at least 3 of those, maybe one more or one less, depending on how long it takes us. Night 8. It's a weird thing. We only been a vampire for 8 nights. But it's taking me like 2 months to get this far. I forgot who we talked to last time. It was the priest guy, the vampire who's so interested in his vampire nature, who wants to know the secrets of life and death and all the above, the source of all the evil of what we are. Let's do the Nosferatu segment, then this segment, and let's go to this segment. I think that's how we'll do it. I think that's how I want to do it. Alright, this chapter is called The Gift That Keeps on Giving. It's been a while since you heard from D'Angelo. Maybe he's busy sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, or maybe he pissed off the wrong people and is now rotting in a ditch somewhere. Either way, now as good a time to check up on him. It's been a while since we talked to him. It's only been like 2 nights. So maybe we should do this one then. Upon returning to your haven, you find a small scrap of paper lying on your window. Still, need a favor. If you're still up for it, come meet me in Prospect Tam. Alright, let's go meet Tam. Once again, you cross the gate of Prospect Park and head straight for where you last saw the feral duo. Minutes pass. Finding no signs of Tamika, you begin to worry that something might have happened to her. Suddenly, you hear rustling coming from the nearby bushes. It is not the stray cat kind of rustling either. Tamika? The rustling stops, only for a second. Suddenly, the bushes part and Raoul walks out, desperately trying to look confident. You wish. Listen, I want to have a word before Tam gets here. She seems to like you for whatever strange reason. But the way I see it, you're a nuisance at best. At worst, you're a threat. You don't like me. Got it. Forgive me if I don't lose any sleep over it. You should be. Because when I don't like someone, I do something about it, and it's usually not pleasant. Tamaka is my sister, in every sense of the word that counts. That's. I was like, I just forgot something. I was so focused on the YouTube side, I forgot to check on Twitch. I know we're streaming on Twitch, but I can't remember if I changed the title of the stream. Let's head over there real quick. Stream summary, career dashboard. There we go. Okay, we have a mark. Oh, it should be mark number 4. That's fine. Just change that title real quick. And done. There we go. My face! No, I'm not that depressed. I mean, I kind of was this morning. Because I couldn't get freaking sleep. Not sure why. I think actually, now I think about it, I think it was the medicine. I had to take. I took a prednisone last night. It wasn't that big of a dose, but what the frick? When did I put controls on OBS? I thought I disabled those. Ah. Ah. I actually kind of like this one. Ah, no, my jaw is falling out. My jaw is falling out. Open my eyes. Okay, they're open. Okay, good, better. Better. I'm gonna turn this keyboard off. Anything happens to her that I find even remotely your fault, I'm coming after you. Is that clear? Crystal, now fuck off. I'm not your enemy. She doesn't need a babysitter. Man, good middle. Or Tamaka's. Don't think you understand. I don't give a fuck what you think you are. What I'm saying is, if anything happens to Tamaka, I'm holding you accountable. All of a sudden, the sound of footsteps reaches your ears. It's just faint enough not to be ostentatious, but still loud enough to hear. You can tell that whoever's approaching wants to make their presence known. Both you and Ryua turn just in time to see Tamaka emerge from behind the old... Okay, because I updated the thing. Addressing no one in particular. Did I miss anything? Your brother's worried about you. He seems to think I'm a bad influence. Ah. In an instant, her voice goes from mockingly sweet to stern and unyielding. Her next words sound like a challenge. Is that true, Ryul? You think I can take care of myself? God damn it. Tam, that's not what this is about, and you know it. I know, big brother. You meant well, you always mean well. Ah, screw it. Why do I even bother? With that, Ryul takes his leave. Tamaka waits in silence just long enough to make sure he can no longer hear her and address you. I have a favor to ask. Okay, what is it? I have an errand to run, and I was hoping you'll come with me. There's a place east of here. It's a short walk. You should be back in about 2, maybe 3 hours. Wait, we're walking? 3 hours? You call that short? I mean, maybe for a vampire, but I don't know about, but definitely not for a human. Sorry, I'm used to much longer distances than that. I forget not everyone is. You think you can handle it? Should I expect trouble? Sounds kind of shady. Should I expect trouble? You should always suspect trouble. But I'm not planning to start any. And so, you head towards the parking lot, accompanied by Tamaka and a lot of unanswered questions. Following Tamaka's directions, you finally arrive at the Evergreen Cemetery, one of the oldest burying grounds in Brooklyn. You enter through the southeastern gate and follow your companion through the sea of tombstones. It's a nice enough place as far as graveyards go, much less homogenized. I know that word. Homogenized than the usual flat field littered with identical markings. Tamaka confidently presses on, swerving and weaving along a pre-programmed path. It's clear that she's been here more than a few times. Finally, she makes a sharp left and takes a few more steps down a gravel walkway, coming to a sudden stop in front of a modest headstone. And the inscription reads, Luca Santiago, beloved sister and daughter, born 1991, taken from us too soon. With her eyes fixed on the grave site, she lets out an absent-minded utterance. I need a moment alone. Not long. 5 minutes at the most. You look around in search of a good spot to wait for her and pass the time. As far in the nearby lawn, you notice a lone bench situated under a weeping willow. Suddenly, you hear voices, distant but slowly approaching. Judging by the tone and timbre, you're guessing it's a couple of teenagers out to get their late-night kicks among the dearly departed. Might be a good chance to feed. Then again, you could just pass the time walking around the area. It's actually quite nice in a dark, somber kind of way. Wait, by that bench, by the tree, I'll take a walk. Let's just use a feeding opportunity, because if these kids are trying to make some trouble in a daggone graveyard, maybe they should deserve to be taught a lesson. Take your time. I think I'll go grab myself a drink. Just do it quietly. I don't want any trouble. Not here. You leave Tamaka alone and follow the voices. Soon enough, you come upon a couple in their late teens. Judging by the thick eyeliner in their clothes, consisting mostly of black leather and lace, you venture a guess that they love nothing more than to meet a natural vampire. You're happy to oblige. As you emerge from the shadows, you can feel your all intensify. The boy and the girl watch you, completely awestruck, waiting for you to approach. The slightest gesture is enough to shoo the boy away. He sits on a nearby bench and watches completely enamored as your lips press against the girl's neck. It's a weird sensation to feel actual, honest-to-God pride in a victim's blood. But here you are. She's glad to have been chosen this way. You decide there's no good reason to discriminate, and also take a sip from the guy. His BO is pretty terrible, but the taste of his blood isn't half bad. Hoping the teens' post-kiss days will make your face just an impression in their memory, you leave them on the bench just as they let their excited hormones run wild and start making out furiously. Oh, okay, I guess we help them. Okay, as long as they had fun. You have expected Kodar to materialize, sword in hand, to deal with these loose ends, or with you for leaving them to roam like you did. You need to be more careful in the future. They're just dumb goth kids. They're just happy to meet and the actual supernatural. They ain't telling anybody. Unless they form a cult, then they'll tell everybody. Finally, you get back to the tree and find Tamaka sitting on the bench. Without a word, you sit next to her. You look over to her, doing your best not to stare. She looks down, crossing her arms and putting her hands on her shoulders. In an instant, the furious savage disappears, replaced by a vulnerable young woman. I think I'm done. You okay? Who was she? I'm better now. Sorry, I guess I should tell you what that was about. She looks away. You can tell she's struggling to open up to you, so you remain silent, trying not to make her uncomfortable. I was embraced, not far from here, in this cemetery. A fitting spot, I suppose. It was close to a decade ago. I've been on the road for a couple of years at that point, hitchhiking from one town to another. New York was supposed to be just another stop. And then I met Jezebel. She was strong, smart, independent. Seemed like someone I could trust, someone I could get close to. She never made me feel inadequate or ashamed, and she could hold her own in a fist fight too. Funny thing though, she only wanted to meet during nighttime. I didn't think much of it, even came up with an excuse for her busy, eccentric, whatever work. Until one night she sank her teeth into my neck. She sounds like quite a gal. A fighter, a lover, an undead abomination. She sounds like quite a gal. She was. Honestly, I learned more about her after she was gone. She was the real deal, an old school Garnell, a veteran of the Battle of New York. She looked away and grows recent for a brief moment. Anyway, she left soon after turning me. I think the conclave of Prague really shook her up. She left you alone? Conclave of Prague? Yeah, what the frick is the Conclave of Prague? Prague. Conclave of what now? Prague. It's a city in Central Europe. It was supposed to be a neutral ground, a good place to discuss politics and strategy. It ended up almost turning into a civil war. Next thing you knew, the anarchs were expunged from the Carmelia. All they have done for our kind, the blood they spilled, it didn't amount to a thing. I can't blame Jezebel for feeling betrayed. But yeah, even though I still had Raoul and Luca, I was still furious and terrified. Luca died a few years later. Operation Lights Out, they called it. It was a coordinated assault by the Second Inquisition, a genocide by any other name. Her family got together, brought up a plot, and buried an empty casket. I guess they wanted some closure. Can't fault them for that. Even though she's not really here, I like to come and visit from time to time to remember me. No, it reminds me of who I am. Keeps me in check. Keeps the beast at bay. Also, this being the place of my embrace, you have to appreciate that level of irony. She straightens up and looks at you as if something just occurred to her. Sorry, I don't know what came over me. One minute I'm all grins and stares, the next I'm giving you my biography. I guess I'm just tired of being scared, alone. You don't have to be alone. I used to think so, but those were simpler times. At this point, I'm just looking for something to believe in. Someone I could give a damn about. You have Raoul? She smiles sadly. Will I? Don't get me wrong, Raoul is my brother. The bond between us is not easily broken. But he's got ideas and ambitions of his own. He won't always be there to watch my back. I can't expect that of him. You open your mouth, but before you can make a sound, Tamaka motions at you to keep quiet. She lifts her head and sniffs She lifts her head and sniffs the air. Her ears perk up and her eyes widen. Suddenly, she pushes you with all her strength, sending you flying off the bench. Before you even hit the ground, an immense shape flies into view and smashes down into the bench, splintering into pieces. With the blood surging through your veins, you pounce onto your feet, You look at the mass of fur and muscles that just nearly pulverize you. The creature rears its head. Ah, I got something on my wish list. The creature rears its head and gives you a deranged stare. It then turns to Tamaka. She seems utterly terrified, frozen in place, as if she literally just saw a ghost. You notice the creature shifts its weight and prepares to pounce, as if preparing to pounce. What is this? Is this a werewolf? Is this a werewolf? Ooh, clarity. Let's do clarity. With your reflexes greatly enhanced, you're able to get over to Tamaka and push her out of the monster's way. You both land safely on the grass while the beast flies through the air and smashes face first into a marble headstone. The creature then turns towards you for a second or two. It moves its mouth awkwardly as if trying to remember how to form words. Wait, is it a wolf man? Is that a wolf man? Let's see. No.
Stay out my ground.
The creature runs off towards a nearby clearing. Then all of a sudden, a gunshot sends it tumbling onto the ground. A group of well-armed men in body armor emerge from the shadows in an orderly formation and move in closer around the creature. Retreating high? Who the heck is that? Probably hunters, right? Not sure what to make of what's happening. You figure it's best to get out of sight. As you start backing away into the nearby bushes, you notice Tamaka following your lead. From the relative safety of the thick foliage, you watch in silence as the group of armed men subdue the creature using steel nets and cattle prods. In the corner of your eye, you catch Tamaka looking away, as if she finds this whole spectacle somehow distasteful. She speaks under her breath, her voice shaking. Can we get out of here? You see no reason to object. The walk back turns out to be quiet and somber experience. You both walk in silence, the city a blur of lights and cars carrying by. Carrying? Look over to Tamaka. She seems lost in her thoughts. Finally, you decide to break the silence. What was that thing back there? And what the heck was that? Are you gonna be alright? I really want to know what that was, but our character seems like he would say this. Because he's so nice. He's a nice guy. You're trying to be a nice guy. Don't want the lore, but... Are you gonna be alright? The thing back there really spooked you. I don't know. She catches herself and quickly attempts to hide her vulnerability. Yeah, I think so. It's just that I've always heard stories about the sacred one. Sacred one. I never thought I actually run into him. Why I feel like I can't spell all of a sudden? That's the only name he's known by. He's a cautionary tale for young Granal. He's what happens when you let the beast take over. I always figured him to be more of a metaphor. Seeing him in real life is like a Christian just happened to run into Judas Iscariot one day. Wait, what? Okay, I feel like I'm missing something here. So he's the sacred one. It feels like a Christian just happened to run into Judas Iscariot. But wouldn't that be... Wouldn't most Christians consider that like a bad omen? I mean, I kind of would. But... It's a metaphor when the beast takes over. But isn't the beast Cain? Or at least the demon... or that connected to Cain or something. And seeing him hunted down by the sea, I don't know what to think. I don't even know where to start running, to start thinking. Deciding to give her some space, you spend the rest of the walk in silence. Soon enough, the familiar tree line of Prospect Park comes into view. You stop by the entrance nearest to Tamika's haven. She keeps walking, without so much as a word or a glance in your direction. She stops after several paces and turns back towards you. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming with me, but I have a lot to shit on. I have a lot of shit to figure out. Once I do, I'll let you know. And with that, she disappears among the trees. Seeing no point in sticking around, you take your leave. So let's look at our words. The Sacred One. Upon return to your haven, you find a small scrap of paper. No. So, ghoul. Mind it. Did we already this one before? A minion created by giving a bit of vampire blood to a mortal without draining them of blood first. Methulasha? Methulasha. Methuselah? A vampire who has existed for a millennia or more. An elder who no longer participates in kindred society. A Methuselah are rumored to hail from the 4th and 5th generation. So basically the children of the millennia from the Vampire Chronicles. A generation. The number of steps between a vampire and the mythical king. How far descended from the first a given vampire is. Low generation provides great power, just as it does a stronger curse and hunger. Gotta word these words. Antediluvians, antediluvians, the progenitors, members of the dreaded 3rd generation, and the founders of the 13 vampire clans. Can we do any more stories? No! Okay, rest. I don't want a nap. I don't want a nap. Well. Qadar Sahim, the sheriff of New York, is knocking at the door of your haven. This is my own private domicile, and I will not be harassed. The sight comes as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, you either expect to see him already inside or never seen him coming at all. Yet, there he is, on the other side of the peephole, patiently and politely waiting for you to let him in. No, we don't consent. Don't let him in. You carefully unlock the door and face him in silence. Evening. May I come in? You simply stare at him. Your lack of an answer doesn't faze him, and your lack of resistance as he starts walking inside has obviously been interpreted as a permission. Once inside, he starts looking around as you cautiously stay by the door. Haven't really had the time to make this place your own yet, have you? It feels like Langley's apartment through and through. A secluded study where nobody studies anything. Look at the books on this shelf, obviously meant to impress guests, not to be read. They reveal nothing about their owner, aside from the aching desire to be taken seriously as an intellectual. God. I mean, good observation. And actually, that kind of sounds like Langley, our maker, our not so maker. He picks up one of them and smirks before putting it away. The phenomenology of spirit, next to all of the garbage poetry. We can make a bet if she reads more than 20 pages, I owe you $50 and a gallon of blood. The kind of place that self-profies hermits entomb themselves in to suffer. Considering how much you have to run around these nights, you probably only use it to shelter from the sun and rest, right? Even though he's obviously making an effort to come off as non-threatening, it's impossible to forget the first impression he made. You still see him as a fierce predator, trying hard not to expose his true colors. You sense a familiar fight or flight response as you struggle to find a diplomatic answer to his last question. If Kadar is bothered by your silence, he doesn't let it show. He keeps walking around, toying with whatever catches his eye. Eventually, he speaks up again. Watch any baseball lately? If I had to guess, you strike me as a Red Sox fan. I'm not into sports. I'm not really into sports. I will watch fighting on occasions, but not really. Not enough. I don't follow it. Now he's inviting you to talk in a more direct manner. You attempt to overcome your physical reaction to him and reply as casually as you can. Your mind keeps going... get off. I didn't mean to hit you. Your mind keeps going back to that night when everything was changed forever. Waking up in hell with a body next to you, spending a night in that underground sweatbox, unsure of what will happen next. The endless car ride, 3 strikes, a bloodthirsty crowd, the blade. A rebirth, a baptism by fire, a frightening executioner who made sure the flames scared your spirit. Or scarred your spirit. Yes, scarred! Yes, scarred. Why did I say sacred? The scarred one. As you look into his face, you realize he's read the emotions from yours. I am so tired. I am so tired. It's starting to catch up to me. I should drink that Red Bull now. Not in the mood to exchange pleasantries, There's no animosity in his voice. He's just stating a fact. Let me get straight to the point then. He momentarily stops caring about his surroundings, turning all of his attention to you, and demanding the entirety of your attention in return. You see, there's something I realized over the years. In large part, I may have been hired just to look menacing with a sword, but my job is all about seeing through bonds and relationships. The Camarilla would be safe as long as its members adhered to certain social contracts, making their dealings and affinities plain for everyone to see. But that obviously remains a pipe dream. This is a community of born conspirators, overly ambitious gangsters and politicians, monsters in denial, all sorts of tragically broken individuals. They are driven by desires that make them incompatible with the Masquerade, incompatible with prolonged survival of the Camarilla, incompatible with the methods I use to operate. And so I am doomed to be like a cop, constantly insulted behind my back, maybe for a good reason, but immediately call for help whenever someone loses their tableware. Or like an Agatha Christie protagonist, outwardly assisted by everyone, but constantly lied to about everyone's past and motivations, even if my failure to solve the mystery might be the end of us all. He tries to sound like he's peacefully resigned to his fate, but it's easy to detect a tinge of regret in his voice, a belonging to someone who's once had bigger ambitions than this. What broke him? So you see, for this detective, the why done it is far more important than who done it or how done it. when you understand all the players and their mutual obligations, you easily understand every crime. But you don't know, but the why done it is sometimes, yeah, okay, nice. But, I'm about to make an Umineko joke, but it slipped my mind. But of course, the kindred knows it. So they devise ways to make my job much harder than the conspirators between two unrelated actors that depend on scratching each other's backs for mutual security. Or they enforce a blood bond to make someone unexpected their thrall. A bond, a boss serving their employee, a rebel serving a tyrant, just because one is regularly being forced to drink another's blood. What has Sophie seen in you? Why does the prince keep asking me about your actions? How come you're being pushed to build your own coterie so fast? Coterie? The Coteries. Wait, isn't that the name of the game? The Coteries in New York? The heck is Coterie? Cool. Coterie. A small group of people with shared interests or tastes, especially one that is exclusive of other people. Okay, so it's our found family. Our group, our business partners. Okay, I get it. You're surrounded by unclear motivation, which you yourself don't understand. That unnerves me, and it should unnerve you as well. And you unnerve me. You made one hell of a first impression. Finally, you managed to raise your voice. Quadir notices the effort and smiles softly. So you haven't gone mute since the last time I saw you. Good. Well, I'm here for a selfish reason. I need to develop a repertoire with you better to fulfill my obligations. The last time we met, I couldn't see you as my equal. Now that you have been accepted into the Carmelia, what choice do I have? I understand if you didn't want to see my face again, but I'm one of the faces of the New York City community. As long as you're a part of it, it's going to be impossible to avoid me. Especially when I have business with you, and I do. As you might have guessed by now, one of my tasks is uncovering and understanding your bonds, and one of them might endanger our community. Well, that's not menacing at all. Who is he talking about? Is it Tamika? I'm guessing it's Tamika. Or Hope. Sophie? Someone from my coterie? Coterie? You mean someone I'm trying to recruit into my coterie? Coterie shakes his head. I'm monitoring them and they know it. If they are breaking the rules, they're doing it the right way, meaning I haven't learned about it yet. Unless you might want to share something. A moment of awkward silence. Joking, mostly. He produces a file from underneath his coat and passes it to you. This is our troublemaker. You open the file to see some printed photos. You freeze up as you recognize the face. You recognize the face and are overwhelmed by the flood of repressed memories. Emma? Wait. Isn't that our sister? Emma. The only person who's kept you hanging on through all these years. The only person you have in your corner in your never-ending fight against the world. You've kept your shit together so far. Try not to think about her until you got everything sorted out. But seeing her face brings a lump to your throat. You look up at Cordier, expecting an answer. I'll be frank. At first, I thought you were a total commercial failure. Someone destined to eventually disappear from the streets of New York without a trace or one soul to care. But it looks like your sister is the best guardian one could ask for. Lots of friends in high places and lots of favors to collect. The word is, she'll do anything to get you back. The risk of endangering us is relatively low, but from from non-existent, which means your sister must be stopped. Must be stopped? Sound threatening. You. What do you mean by that? Can I just repress her memories, make her go off somewhere for a long vacation? I'll arrange for you to meet tomorrow so that you can straighten the situation out and say goodbye to the life you've forsaken. He'll arrange. What? Your eyes must look like saucers right now. Usually these matters are left to my discretion, and I can't think of an easier solution. The lost sheep reappears, takes care of unfinished business, and disappears, never to be seen again. Nobody cares. It's simple, it's clean, it's contrived schemes, no unnecessary victims. And it gives me an opportunity to learn more about you as I observe when neonates interact with kind they used to hold dear. Their true natures are laid bare for everyone to see. Of course, he's invested in being kind to you, or he's making clear his self-serving intention so that you don't start figuring them out yourself. Any objections? Any alternatives are probably worse. You shake your head. Very well. I'll arrange a meeting and drive you there tomorrow. Better come with a load of bull that is easy to swallow. He disappears from the apartment, leaving you as confused as the last time he closed the door on you. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. You need to think it through. Emma. For a long time, you just sit in your haven, lost in your thoughts, trying to come up with lies that will convince the only person who ever seen the real you. Let's go with this one. Oh, let's look at our new terms. Blood bond. A mystical enforced relationship between a vampire and another, mortal or kindred. Drinking the blood of a vampire directly from the vein 3 times creates an intense loyalty in the drinker, resembling an infatuation or obsession. The bond loses its grip with time, but is reinforced by repeated drinks from the donor vampire. A neonate. A young kindred, recently embraced but more than a fledgling. Okay, so I guess fledglings are newborns, and neonates happen when you're a couple nights old. Okay, time for the Red Bull. Ugh. That sound good. That sound good. Somebody watch. Let's do this one. Somebody watching me. Part 1. Recently, you're feeling as if somebody keeps tailing you. Time to confirm your suspicion. Someone is following you around. Has been for a few nights, maybe longer. That can't be a good thing. The only question is, what to do about it? Tell Sophie you have a problem. Provoke the stalker to appear. Tell Sophie. This is clearly something more serious than what you can figure out on your own. You have to ask Sophie for help. She must have experience with all kinds of stalkers, invisible or not. You make your way to Sophie's apartment, feeling watched the whole way. It would be better if you could shake the tail, but something tells you that's impossible. A ghoul lets you into Sophie's apartment. You're not sure how many servants she has, but the servility creeps you out. Does vampire blood do that to people, or is it just Sophie's personality? The ghoul tells you that Sophie is not in and bids you to wait in the living room. You do as directed, settling down on a sofa. As you sit contemplating Sophie's decor, you feel strange. as if the feeling of being followed on the street never really left you. You don't have time to think more on this, because Sophie strides in, clearly in a good mood. If it isn't my favorite stray, am I imagining it, or have you started to dress a little better? You stand up, too worried to waste time on small talk. I'm being followed, right? I'm being followed. Some creep has been tailing me for a few nights now, and I can't shake them. So you led them here? I appreciate your initiative. This is a cause for concern, to be sure. In fact, Sophie looks around the room, suddenly startled. I can't believe it. As Sophie stands up, ready to face whatever danger she senses, an invisible force pushes aside her servant standing in the doorway. You hear the door to Sophie's apartment open and close. Sophie sighs and settles back down as the ghoul disappears into the hallway in a vain effort to catch the stalker. I suppose I should scold you, but in a town full of Malkavians and Nosferatu, that's probably useless. Sometimes this happens. This is embarrassing. You should be careful. I'll assign one of my servants to watch your haven. You leave Sophie's apartment, chastised and confused. If invisible Orlocks in gestures can follow you anywhere, how are you supposed to stop them? Perhaps it's all part of the game the kindred seem to play with each other. Hard to say if that makes it better or worse. No new words? How's that whole night? We didn't do anything. Alright, I also want to just go to sleep. Aw, come on. I thought we could at least do one more mission. Knock, knock, knock. Yes, he's there, but you don't know it. But you don't know if the sheriff of New York City would play along. When you open the door, you see him toying with the car keys he's holding in his hand. Ready to go, fledgling? You don't feel like it, but you give him a nod, nevertheless. Excellent. Stay close. He leads you down to the vehicle he parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively. Everything inside is just the way you remember it, down to the rear view mirror reflecting the intense stare of your guide. However, the trip itself feels noticeably different. The last time Kadar drove you around, he was forcefully dragging you away from your old life. And this time, he's pulling you back into it. Let me tell you how this is going to go. As I said, I arranged a meeting between you and your kin. It's going to take place somewhere you should know very well. I'll watch over you two from a safe distance to make sure you adhere to the rules. You should know those very well. But I'll reiterate, just so you can ever say I didn't warn you. Don't do anything that will violate the Masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes or contact. I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will meet. Take this chance to wrap everything up. Here's your story. You're fine. You found yourself at a crossroads. Decided to radically change your life and move out of the city. The subway is unbearable. The rent is too high. They've heard it all. However, you wouldn't leave for good without saying farewell to the only person who cared. He gives you a compassionate stare. Is going to leave a scar, boy. But a true artist knows those are not something to hide, but to display with pride. You're a fresh corpse. People you meet can still leave a mark on you. One night, a long time from now, you realize you miss collecting new wounds. The car makes a sudden turn. I'll leave the finer details to you. Just be so kind and don't make me regret it. You can sense he's going out of his way for you, but doesn't try to force you into gratitude by stating it plainly. If you know, you know. He'll see if you are worthy of his aid. We are here. You take a look around and recognize your destination. He was right. It was a familiar place. It's right next to the exhibitions place. The one where you met your future sire. This is where you saw Emma for the last time. This is where they last saw poor Hanyo. Who knows whatever might have happened to him. That's what your sister's trying to find out. I took the liberty of messaging her in your stead. She's there, waiting for you to come and explain yourself. He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. You silently leave the car and head straight for the exhibition space. The elevator right up just doesn't seem to end. After what feels like 5 hours, but in reality is closer to 30 seconds. You finally reach your floor. There she is. There she is. Em is standing there looking at the paintings. She's trying to act carefree, but is holding on to her bag a little too tightly. When she hears your footsteps, she's startled. Then she sees you, and her eyes immediately fill with tears. She runs up to you and gives you a hearty hug. God damn it, Anya. God damn it. You stay in her arms, silent for a little while. The bonds of blood run deep. This feels right. You're so cold. What happened to you? You look into her eyes and start searching your heart for a lie that would satisfy her, if only for a little bit. There was sudden opportunity. I love you. You can't come up with anything convincing, so you decide to tell her the only truth you are able to share. I only want you to know this. I love you. If there was one person I ever loved, it was you. I've always known all the things you did to save my stupid ass. And I wish I could She hugs you more tightly in response, but quickly lets you go. Not satisfied, she wants answers. What happened? Anyo, talk to me. All the life-saving work she sent your way, from the concept artist job to this very exhibition. I've been losing my mind. Talked to literally everybody I know to ask when the last time they saw you was. All the time she helped you get your shit together. I've always been honest with you. The least you could do is return the favor. She has, and she absolutely deserves to know. No, but she can't. Kadar is waiting downstairs. Hanyo? Her voice startles you. Your first instinct is to run. And like the beast you've become, you trust it. Hanyo? You can't do this. Not now. Not like this. She watches you, kindred, an undying creature of the night, zoom away from her, run into the elevator, and press the ground floor button. This might be the last time you ever see each other. At least look her in the eyes and force yourself to tell her one last thing. Oh no. Omi, don't search for me. For your and my own good. She's too stunned to react as the elevator doors close. You slide down the wall, hiding your face in your arms. You find your own priorities disgusting, but what gets you down the most is not the fact that you failed to give closure to the only person you cared about. It's more that you failed to make this farewell beautiful. That was... Okay, why did that go down like that? There was barely any options. I just hit one prompt and it goes, oh, that's it. No more. Bye-bye. It makes you feel like a failure as an artist. Even with all this newfound power, you still can't express yourself through the canvas of your life. You're still stuck in your old ways. Okay, that scene sucked. That scene sucked. I was gonna be honest, that was awful. I wonder how the other ones go. We might do another playthrough. But you know M, she'll take the pain you cause her and use it to make art that resonates the cells. With authentic trauma is the best gift you could find to repay all her generosity. Authentic trauma. Oh no, we really are becoming a creature of the night. Jesus Christ, you're disgusting. If you consider all those emotions commodities, no wonder you're a failure as an artist. The elevator doors open. Better run while she's still up there. Stretch. Back to Kadar's car. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal. Walking off the pitch with no regrets. So everything he had to say. Kadar sighs. Yeah, that's what I gather from here. I'll keep an eye on the situation. Placate her somehow if she won't stop looking. I got some well-tested methods. Non-violent, of course. He gives you a good stare via the rear view mirror. You're an artist, aren't you? You nod, half-heartedly. So, you of all people should know that things never work out the way you plan. There could always be more times to plan, tools that could help you execute it better. Perfection is just an accident. The only thing you can give is your best shot, given the circumstances, and immediately move on to the next thing. When all is said and done, regret is nothing but narcissism and a waste of time. Sophie, your Kadir, those are the materials you've been given. They are potent ones. Make the best of them, so that they might create something more beautiful than your artist tools ever did. And as a side note, I envy you. I wish I still had someone to make my knees feel like jelly, even when you can't see them anymore. Just knowing they're there keeps you in touch with what you once were. The car speeds up to cross the intersection. Before the lights turn red, you give Kadar a good hard look. It doesn't feel like a, how do you call it, very vampire thing to say, but you say it nevertheless. He's visibly taken aback, and his usually furrowed brow smooths out for a moment. Then he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression. Don't look up to me, kid. Mr. Big Guy is still here, and without a doubt, he will go back to decapitating suckers like you anytime. The car starts slowing down. We're here. We look out the window and see your haven. Take care. I'll see you around. Just pray I don't have to see you too often. You leave the car and start walking to your haven, thinking about Kadar. Can't say you're fond of him with the welcome he gave you and all, but after tonight, you can't say you aren't either. You're gonna need some more time to understand him. That's for sure. Okay. That was a very, sorrowful chapter, I had to say. Definitely, you think we'll meet her again? I hope we get to meet her again. I feel awful for how I left her. I really always want to give her one more hug and just whisper in her ear. But knowing Kadar, that just might get her killed. That might just get her killed. Ah, poor sister. Poor Emma. Poor Emma. Alright, what's the next one we have? Somebody's watching part 2. The Battle of the Cloisters. A tapping on the window. A small grayish bird flying off a small piece of paper left on the window still. Prospect ASAP. Let's do this one. Walking down the street, you near your haven. You suddenly spot a young, devilish woman leaning against the wall. She looks straight in the eye. She looks you straight in the eye and disappears into the alley. She is your stalker. You're certain of it. You take a few running steps to catch up with her, determined to find out what this is all about. Ducking into the alley, you come upon a grisly scene. A old man, a prisoner, a prisoner, really, he lies broken on the ground. A telltale puncture mark on his neck. 3 vampires stand above the corpse, licking their lips. All were embraced young. 2 men and a woman, black hoodie, bicycle chain, a facial tattoo. You've never seen them before, and you assume you know why. They're anarchs. Okay, she's a dark silhouette. That's creepy. Hey, it's the Carmilla fucker, just as promised. That being of these privileged little shits. You walked into the simplest ambush in the world. The woman you saw briefly at the mouth of the alley is nowhere in sight. Perhaps that shouldn't be surprised given her obvious powers of invisibility. Let's all calm down. Well, let's calm down, There's no need for violence. The anarchs come closer, crowding you menacingly. Oh yeah? Well, if I like a bit of violence. I've done nothing wrong. I have no beef with you or your kind. The anarchs look at each other. You know what? You convinced us. We'll leave you in peace. They all laugh. From one of them, a guy punches you in the stomach like a boom. You stagger back, trying to figure out whether you should run or fight when you see the anarchs looking past you. There are mortals, ordinary New Yorkers, gathering at the mouth of the alley. You see cell phones, people shooting videos. This is a masquerade breach for sure. The anarchs come to the same conclusions, as if by common wordless decision, they turn and run down the alley, away from the crowd. After a moment hesitation, you do the same. As you emerge onto the streets on the other side of the block, there's no sign of the anarchs. One thing is clear. Your mystery stalker is not worried about you getting hurt. Okay, time to sleep. Faith in Mystery Part 3. Benet believes the time has come for you to meet Father Anthony. The holy man's presence terrifies you, but approaching the cathedral on the street makes you nervous. You've been here twice, and twice something bad has happened, or almost happened, as in both cases you ran away. Bennett. How do you freaking pronounce that name? I need to look it up. Look it up. How to pronounce Benoit. Oh, it's Benoit. This is French, if he's French. Benet is pronounced Benoit in French with a silent T. And it sounds similar to wa for oi. while English is often simplified to Benoit or Benoit. Benoit. I'll say Benoit. Okay. Benoit suggested it's time to stop running and experience faith head on. Perhaps he's right. Maybe it's cowardly to take refuge in rationalization when you know what you felt, the holiness of the priest and your own damnation. Walking towards the door of the cathedral, you glance at the bench where you saw where you sat when you first met Benoit. He's waiting for you, sitting and contemplating the cathedral's Gothic architecture. Are you sure we can meet here? I just can't let these questions go. I need to know more. I'm thieving for the lore. The more I think about these questions of faith, the harder it is to let go. I know how that feels. Benoit looks different than before. Intense. Certain. We have some time to think about what we spoke of before? You have some time to think about what we spoke of before? I'm not sure what to believe. I want to learn more about Cain. All these stories seem so fantastical. You don't have to believe. You just have to open your heart to the faith Father Anthony represents. Let's go see Father Anthony. That's not French. Is that French? No. Let's go see Father Anthony. It's best not to talk in the cathedral, so I arranged for us to see him at his home. I have a car nearby. This better be on the level. The cathedral has become too exposed. That's what I thought. Some things are best done with privacy. You follow Benoit as he walks down the street until you come to his car, a surprisingly pedestrian family sedan. The essence of the Masquerade is inconspicuous. Nobody expects a vampire to drive a car like this. Benoit drives north towards Queens. During these moments, you feel most anomalous. Just another speck of dust in a vast machine where every action influences the whole in a tiny ways. The only thing you've learned about the kindred is that they are not lacking in self-regard. The prince of a Carmelia city is said to rule the domain, yet how much do they really affect mortal affairs? If you ask a vampire, they'll say a lot. Perhaps that's what made Benoit turn inward. The fertility of finding meaning in a secret predatory existence. Benoit stops in front of a red brick row house, a little rundown but probably not cheap. Benoit notes your interest. Father Anthony. Father Anthony comes from an old New York family. He inherited the house when I first met him. I was suspicious, so I checked up on him. Despite the way he keeps putting you in dangerous situations, kindred paranoia seems to come naturally to Benoit. Perhaps that's something you can learn from him. Does he know we're coming? Isn't this a masquerade breach? Oh yeah, does he know we're vampires? He knows we're vampires, right? Yes, he knows. He doesn't know everything I've told you about Cain in the first city and so on, but he knows we're no longer human. You follow Benoit to the stairs, looking around for any signs of an ambush. As you get to the door, the first sign of trepidation hits you. The discomfort, the pain that follows once you're inside. It feels like a physical thing, a burning sensation under your skin, in your blood. You look to see how Benoit is taking. He's smiling. Eyes closed for a second before knocking on the door. Almost as if enjoying the sensation. The door opens and you see Father Anthony's kindly face. Your body feels as if in a vice. You haven't really been bothered by hot or cold since you were embraced, but now it feels like the surface of your skin is overwhelmed with sensation. The fear and terror are paralyzing. Yes. You barely hear Benoit whisper. Come in, you two. I might not know much, but I know enough not to do this on the porch. You force yourself to follow Father Anthony into the apartment. Despite the splitting headache and rising panic, it's hard to take in your surroundings. Everything seems to vibrate. seeking to engulf you. Framed portraits of a mantel place, a cross on the wall, a living room with lots of books, many of them old. I'm not sure if I can offer you anything. You don't drink tea, I suppose. No, we don't. Why do I feel pain? If this is holiness, why does it feel like pain? Oh, my child. Oh, my child. I understand that. Thanks to your condition, you're under unusual stress. Please, Father. You know this is difficult for us. You'll forgive me if I don't waste time. Father Anthony looks pained, whether because of the rudeness of our sympathy for your Father Anthony looks pained, whether because of the rudeness or out of sympathy for your condition. You can tell. He motions for you to sit down, but you and Benoit are both too agitated to do so. You feel trapped, like a moth being smeared against a burning light bulb. It's hard to look at Father Anthony, but you can't look at anything else either. Benoit is starting to look increasingly unhinged. His eyes look as if he's seeing into some divine beyond just outside the grasp of your sense. Now is the time, my friend. You have to decide if you're ready for salvation. Prove your faith by embracing the Father and let his radiance envelop you. Please, Benoit, it hurts. You are damned. It's supposed to hurt. Just kneel and be blessed. As the burning pain racks your body, Benoit pushes you down to your knees. You don't resist, too consumed by the holy suffering inflicted on you. Startled, Father Anthony takes a step back. Benoit, what are you doing? Father, it's time to be redeemed, for both of us. Benoit falls to his knees next to you, lifting his face in full embrace of the holy agony. This is not right, Benoit. Everyone has a chance for salvation. I understand there's something in God's presence that burns you, but you can walk through it. Work through it. Through it. Please, Benoit, there are many paths to salvation, and we'll find those. I won't hurt you and your friend. Benoit, we trusted you. We trusted you. You sent us to a forced I was about to say forced conversion. But you tricked us. You tricked us. I mean, the father seems like a good guy. He doesn't want to force his beliefs on other people, so that's great. But come on, Benoit. I thought you were our friend, our immortal companion. Benoit moans in pain, stricken with grief and disbelief at Father Anthony's refusal. Please, Father. Please, Father. They don't even believe. Not truly. What's with that? Please, Father. They don't even believe, not truly. Father Anthony looks at you and seems to waver. Even his belief in salvation has limits. Kill the father, profess your belief, run away. Clarity. What happens if I profess my belief? Oh, I don't want to kill the father. I don't want to kill the father. And that's to me. He seems like a really good guy. He seems like a really good guy. Oh, no. If I profess my belief, I'm going to get sucked into Benoit's ways. I'm going to sucked into Benoit's ways. His forced conversions. His... Oh, no. What's going to happen? Will I be cured of my vampirism? Will I gain new divine powers? Will an angel sit on my shoulder and tempt me not from the blood, but to something else? Something more rational, something more good? Will he demoralize or take away the evil of it all? I don't want to run away. I want to see where this goes. Like, I really... I believe, Father. I just need to find the way. Your response makes Father Anthony steel his resolve. He is a man of grace, and he believes salvation extends to everyone, even vampires. Benoit, your weakness blinds you. Sometimes a martyr succumbs to a special kind of vanity, where they imagine their pain is holiness. Yet our goal must always be to help our fellow man find the right path. Benoit is still kneeling. He looks at Father Anthony in confusion and surprise. Please, Father, forgive me. I don't know. Shh, Benoit. We have time to talk. Meanwhile, I think it's better for your friend to leave. I can't claim to understand the effect I seem to have on your kind, but I'm not convinced it's all sultry. Father Anthony looks at you kindly. Go. Hope we can talk again someday. There is hope and for everyone, even you. You're weeping, tears of blood staining your cheeks. Staggering and unstumbling, you retreat to the door, the distance between you and the father already making it hurt less. You hear Benoit's whisper confession behind you as you escape to the night. You're safe, but the implications of your experience are troubling. What does this mean? Whether practical or spiritual, it feels like you have to think about this for a long time. You're free to return to your haven, and there is a distinct temptation to keep the events of the night to yourself. Yet these events cannot be good for the Masquerade. I ain't gonna tell myself, freak that. She'll kill them both. Sometimes the right choice is to do nothing at all. You walk back to your haven, alone as usual, among the people who crowd the New York sidewalks even at night. Holiness hurts. That's an inescapable conclusion from what happened. Hard to say what words like salvation and damn mean in modern nights, but the way you felt in Father Anthony's presence is an unavoidable fact. Father Anthony and his faith is the key. You could walk in a church and fondle a cross to your heart's content. None that means anything. It's only in the presence of living faith that holiness becomes manifest. Perhaps one day, you'll have the courage to go back to Father Anthony. Oh, we can do one more. Wait, what night are we on? Tell me what night we're on. Let's do her. When you reach the cafe, you're welcomed by the familiar face of the waiter, who first let you inside. Eugène looks and nods. He hides his vape pen in a back pocket. She's been inspecting you. Something happened to her car, and she's hasn't exactly left her room ever since. He scratches his head, shrugs, and gestures at you to follow him. It's the same route as before. First, beyond the locked door at the end of the room with all the computers, then in an endless gray labyrinth. Finally, at a door that would look like any other to a random bystander. Of course, by now you know that Hope's haven lies beyond it. The waiter bids you adieu, and with an exaggerated bow, and starts walking back to the cafe. You enter the familiar room. This time, the lights are on inside. Hope is inside, walking around nervously, overseeing every screen in sight. When she spots you, she wastes no time on introductions. I am not talking, not okay at all. Kara Montgomery, what do you know of her? I know the name. Not a lot. Heard something. Not a lot. No. You could have seen her in lists such as Top 5 Badass Women in Tech 2018, 12 CEOs who spark innovation through empathy, or 20 entrepreneurs with mysterious ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, freak! Excuse me. Epstein, we're gonna fight vampire Epstein? Are you gonna go to the Vampire Island? You don't get to voice your answer. The question was just a minor curiosity. She has a monologue to deliver and she won't allow any interruptions. 20 years ago, she was a failed .com investor. Now she's CEO of Double Spiral, a brand management startup, working at the crossroads of a big data and influencer culture. The quotation marks are audible, dripping with venom. Long story short, she spent years convincing her Carmelia contracts as an out-touch old farce angry about smartphones that Kendrick can benefit from controlling the internet. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not like a bad thing. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Just, global takeover and stuff. Sounds a lot like what the governments of the world are trying to do nowadays. Her IT ghouls have done a lot of research on deepfakes, AI, and machine learning. Her goal is the ability to generate thousands of believable online human accounts. Yep, that's exactly what a lot of people are doing nowadays, too. Wow, this is so topical. This is so topical. Oh my god. Basically, an army of posters that could brute force anything into the mainstream discourse. The elders took a while to get the concept, but eventually Kara got their blessing. Oh god, what's happening? What's happening? The thing is, she claims her tech is ready to be tested, but it needs one final component to work properly. And that's why. Why, what? She pauses. She proposed a truce. What truce? What kind of truce? Malik David Chaprin. The become my friend or face a violent death kind of truce. Not exactly fucking convincing, if you ask me. But no matter how much I hate her guts, this is a blessing in disguise. Hear me out. She picked up a public place in Manhattan, neutral ground where we can meet without the fear that the other party might do something stupid and violate the Masquerade. She wants to talk. Well, just talk. You will go there in my place and listen to her terms. We won't accept them, of course, especially not after she just tried to kill us. You will just steal her voice and walk away. Steal her voice? But with tech? Or is that like a power? Is that a power I can do? Can I voice mimic? Like in True Blood? Yeah. Steal her voice. What next? Will you trade her mermaid tail for legs? Well, she's a vampire. I assume she already has legs. Maybe we can give her a mermaid tail, and she can give us like, I don't know. What do we want? $1 billion? $2 billion. $2 billion. Context collapse. A Disney joke? Sweet, what next? Will you hit me with a topical Harry Potter reference? I don't know, to go with Harry Potter to figure that one out. I'm not trying to be obtuse here. Wait a second. Let me explain my plan. Revenge plotter. You see, there is only one way to even the odds. You have to hit Kara where it hurts. And she only got 1 weak's point. Double Spiral headquarters. Kara is the only person there with access to every room. The security is something she came up with herself. Voice-based, but using a different password phrase every time. Okay, smart. That means just recording her talking is not enough if we want to get in. That's why I started selling illicit marked materials to people with access to advanced deepfake audio technology. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that. I've got it right in this room, and now all I need is a sample base that will allow me to manufacture a bot that talks like her to monitor data. I need to stay behind. Still, I think the plan is pretty simple. You talk to her while wearing a wire, and I process the recordings here to steal her voice, and voila, she's wide open. Then we invade a double spiral and destroy it from within. The evil is defeated. I become a part of your crew. Happy ending for everybody. How does that sound to you? Won't I be in danger? Will she even talk to me? She wanted to talk to you. Why would she talk to me? Yes, she's too stuck up to talk to a total rando, but given an opportunity to get Sophie Langley right hand on her side, she won't let it pass her by. And even if you weren't a minor celebrity in the city, I'm sure our connection would have been enough to hear you out. Hope shakes her head and claps her hands. When she speaks up, she sounds different, more spaced out, stuttering. Antisocial engineering. All right, let me fix you up with the hardware. Okay, this at thing is getting really weird. I mean, I thought she was just doing that to be quirky and screw with us, but is she actually having like different personalities? Is she changing voices? It's getting kind of scary. And not like a scary or like in concerning way. I think she needs to see a doctor. What is a vampire psychologist though? A psychiatrist? Psychologist or psychiatrist? Now psychiatrists are the ones who can prescribe medicine. Psychologists are the ones who just talk about your problems. Both are good though. Both are good. She hands you a minuscule earpiece and starts attaching a small decorative pin to your clothes, along with some masked wiring. It's a directional microphone. I can clean up the audio later, but keep it pointed directly at Kara as much as possible. All right. You put on the earpiece she gave you. It fits snugly deep inside your right ear. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. The hardware works flawlessly, and the audio quality seems great. You give Hope an affirmative sigh with your head. Sign with your head. Beautiful. Kara designated the meeting place at the vessel. You've heard about the place, right? Right? It's right by the eastern end of the linking tunnel. A giant pile of staircases, basically impossible to miss. Manhattan's answer to the Eiffel Tower, or a gaudy monument to being only ever so slightly free, depending on who you ask. I tried a few there, but my car is still in the shop, and I don't want to risk being spotted by Car's people, and I need to process the voice data from here. No, I gotcha. Which means I have a perfectly acceptable number of excuses for not letting myself get away, getting anywhere near close to that demonic old hag. Hey, that's mean. How can you tell? You're all immortal. You involuntarily roll your eyes a little bit. Hope sits in front of her screens, pretending not to have noticed. So, should we get this show on the road, or what? Right whenever you are. No sense in lingering. You get back to the street and find your car. Wrapping up this show as quickly as possible sounds like a good idea. Around 30 minutes later, you are in front of the vessel. Hope's description, a giant pile of staircases, wasn't particularly helpful. From the distance, building looks more like a giant honeycomb designed to swarm with tourist bees. Tourist bees? At least during the day, that is. At the moment, the place is closed to general public. A few men who look vaguely threatening and out of place are making sure nobody unwanted gets in. However, you have no problem getting up the stairs. All it takes is a exchange of knowing glances with one of the guards you are expected. Okay, I need to take a drink. I need to take a drink. It's taking for too long. My voice is starting to strain. It's getting dry. Good. A lone figure appears in your sight, staring down at the streets of Manhattan. You know, see, people often complain about being unable to see the starry skies. Yeah, starry skies. Up. But I always thought the real tragedy was how they're unable to appreciate the man-made sea of lights that surrounded them. I think you can appreciate both and miss both, depending on where you live. You can teach people a lot of things, but you can't teach them to see, huh? I don't like the sound of that. You recognize the face from Hope's phone. Finally, you meet Kara Montgomery in the flesh. She turns to you, puts on a wide smile, and shakes your hand with a firm grip. First a representative of Sophie Langley, now a representative of Hope. Now, not the way I developed my own career, but I gotta say, not many neonites get around the way you do. Hey, have we met her before? I don't remember. The game is seeming to tell us we have, but I don't remember. Hardy fucking hard. What is that? Contents under pressure. Under pressure. Hope speaks up in your ear for the first time, seething with contempt, although Kara couldn't possibly have heard. She immediately goes on to address her absence. Can't say I expected you to actually arrive here with your... Can't say I expected her to actually arrive here with you or instead of you. On the other hand, I'm sure every single word I say will be instantly relayed to her. Chinese democrat. For the first time in forever, your empty blabbering will serve an actual useful cause. So let me make sure we cut. Probable she can't hear your voice right now either, which would mean she must be raging and cursing out everything in her sight at the moment. This obviously wasn't something she expected to happen. Could it be that Kara saw through your plan? You have to play it cool and see what happens next. Knowing Hope, you probably heard whatever scraps can. Knowing Hope, you probably heard whatever scraps can be Googled about me and a pile of insults for good measure. Obviously, I know everything there is to know about you as well, Hanyo. I don't believe we have a need for formal introductions, but first off, let me apologize for the discomfort my former employee has caused you. I wasn't remotely aware of his planned actions against Hope. I fully condemn them. I'm glad to see you unharmed, and of course, appall your swift disposal of the psycho. Langley chose you well. Applaud. Yeah, is that right? Applaud. Brief silence. So let me cut to the chase and present myself the best way I know how. Through my ideas, who do you think has a monopoly on reality? Not much for small talk, is she? Who do you think has a monopoly on reality? Who would it be? The corporations. We do. The state. It is the corporations. That's a fairly typical answer. Very 21st century sounding. Have they succeeded in replacing the state here, though? She signals someone behind you. For a while, you've been watched by Kara's men, who circle around the staircase, presumably her ghouls. One of them sits off downstairs. You know, Bolivia just had a military coup. Hundreds of new accounts posting about nothing but Bolivian politics in English set out to convince every random person online that the US wasn't to blame. Sloppy work, if you ask me. Now imagine this: a 17-year-old K-pop fan from Ohio writing an entire thread about how her relatives in La Paz are actually glad the president is gone. A film reviewer with a side interest in politics selling you a CIA-approved narrative about Evo Morales, an approachable fitness guy explaining the situation to you in simple terms just like this. Animated voices, expressive gestures, and steady eye contact. She taught herself how to project a good image. But isn't it natural yet? At times, it feels as if she's screaming at you to trust her. Not hard to emulate the masses. Reach out to one of those Eastern European troll farms, and bang, a few hours later, you have a clone army that will instantly voice their support for your cause, for any cause. Will you spread your message? You will spread your message, but you won't foster a new culture that serves your goals. Won't masquerade your meanings as independent thought. For that, you need personalities, not the masses. But the ability to emulate personalities? A whole different ballgame. Not craft, but an art. You need to understand your fabrication so deeply that you start to hate it, and then learn to love it. And if you want to make a bunch of those personalities follow one agenda, you need a once-in-a-lifetime team to achieve that. A like-minded artistic collective, both ambitious and obedient. Even though you can't hear Hope's voice in your ear right now, you could swear you hear her in Kara's speech. Exact same tone she was using when monologuing in the car. Oh, so they're pretty close. One of them must have been a big influence on the other. Or perhaps they used to be in a position where they both shaped each other's personas. Hard to say. Only one thing is for sure. And that is, Hope must be absolutely furious right now. Is it possible that Kara knew about her plot? Fingers crossed she doesn't. To stay satisfied when an account that went unused for 5 years suddenly starts yelling imperialist propaganda into the void. The aging corporations are too set in their ways. Then imagine a fresh startup that enables the proliferation of ideas adjacent to the princess plan for the future. Now imagine getting it into bed with the biggest corporations and agencies. So many unlies that could be improved or even saved from the rays of first light. I have the infrastructure. I have the elders' support. All I need now is a mastermind at the center of it all. Yes, Hope. She looks down and takes in the scenery below for a while. She points at her t-shirt, the one piece of clothing that clashes with the rest of her outfit. You know, I'm a huge fan of punk. The leading idea of my company, Double Spiral, is to make everything I do a little bit punk. I'm all about clashing ideas. I'm all about destruction, destroying the man. You blink a few times in quick succession. Oh God, you think to yourself, she's that kind of person. Another rich idiot who thinks deals are an art form too. Hell-bent on preventing the meaning of any piece of actual art that hasn't been thoroughly ruined by the art-hating dystopia that surrounds you. Oh no, oh no. I'm not sure how I feel about this plot point. It feels weird. It feels like sci-fi thriller plot. But also kind of makes sense because that's what vampires would probably have to do this in the modern times. You collect yourself and escape from the memory lane. Kara's start talking about hope, so you better listen. To me, hope is a punk as it gets, a free spirit, fiercely independent. 1 second, saying it popped up. 1 second, guys. Okay, we're good. To me, hope is as punk as it gets. A free spirit, fiercely independent, an eternal contrarian, at odds with everything and everyone, developing her talents just because she finds it joyful. But God, does this girl need guidance? Not putting her talents to better use, rotting away, posting and saying bullshit all the time. What a waste. I have built an environment specifically to develop her talents and let her become indispensable to our society. But she rejects it because of some idiotic hangups. I don't expect you to change your mind about me just because I kept yapping and yapping. I just hope you keep my perspective in mind and serve as the voice of reason. Hope really needs right now. Now, that's why I had my not the now that I have my say, how about we put our girl back on? She taps her phone again. A quiet buzz reappears in your right ear. Kara smiles devilishly, while Hope releases a demonic, guttural growl through your headphone. No, dumb Yeah, sure. Let her know her lunch was right on the money. Why the hell not? She's not happy with you. But the important part is, she's with you. Don't worry, she should have heard everything. I just wanted to spare you an annoying commentary track while I introduce myself. Excuse me for a second. One of Kara's guards approached to show her something on his phone. Hope uses the distraction to get you up to speed with how things are on her side. Hate What's he? Hate America. Hey America. Hey America beat. Hey America beat. Hey America eat. Yeah, for a second there, I was about to rage that the hag had gotten the better of us, but hey, go figure. She just wanted to take a piss in my Cheerios. The plan worked. I have a lot of data from her monologuing and some private sources, but the more we gather, the better. The display here says some more K letters could be useful. So don't beat yourself up about it if you fail, but if you get her to repeat something with K in it, that might improve our fake voice. It's like Kara's done talking to the guard. Sorry about that. Looks like I got to attend a sudden meeting with Google representatives shortly. Freaking the stupid vampire get attached with Google, but actual content creators can't. Hope snorts. Not bragging, though. By the way, does anyone but Hope know about this little rendezvous? Your patron? Any other companion? Or maybe the Nosferatu? I haven't seen him in days. Haven't seen him in days. Sophie knows freaking nothing. If I answer this, I'm probably gonna die. Should I have told anyone? Maybe. Maybe not. It just says a lot about your personality, that's all. Anyway, no offense, but since Hope's not here, I really have to rush. Honestly, I feel a little insulted that she set this meeting and didn't even bother to show up. Insulted and suspicious. Her tone of voice betrays her. She might have some good instincts. Too bad she didn't trust them here. Still, out of respect for Langley, I decided to have this talk with you. To explain to explain to you why I'm an asset to the Carmelia, and to explain why the elders need hope by my side. Investigated double spiral now. What's the worm brain hag here forgot to mention is that the elders don't give a shit about me. Even if you don't see it in my way now, I believe I sown some seeds here that might sprout in the near future. Double spiral looks out for people who look out for it, is all I'm saying. But before I leave, there's one thing I really wish I knew. Back when I knew her, she was a different person, or different people, depending on how you look at it. Why does she fight against me so much? What's her motivation to resist so much? What's her motivation? That's a good question. She's never shared it with you. Ah! What's it? Ah! What? Answer whatever you want, but A, you better lie through your teeth. B, get her to say V, and a few times if you can. It might improve a few shortcomings of our deepfake software. Love loves nothing. I'm not sure she loves herself. Payback, retribution. That seems more a spot on the money. But I think survival, because the V in it, has the V in it. Kara snorts. Spare me. If she just wanted to keep pulling through, she can have much better chance by my side. Pride or spite would be a far more believable as an answer. Should have told me you either don't know or don't trust me. Survival, V times 2, good attempt at least. One of Kara's people interrupts with a theatrical cough. Kara gestures at him to calm down. I really need to go now. See you around, Hanyo. She begins to walk down the stairs, surrounded by her guards. When she's gone from before your eyes, Hope decides to summarize your mission. So the trade... Nah! Trade... Cathot? Trade? Or trad? Cathot? Cathonaut? Not complaining though, you did a good job, and you did good. And don't worry, the data I have should be more than enough to generate a convincing deep fake. I just need to put in some more work. So I guess I will get to that right away. Enjoy the rest of your night. Drop my hardware at your haven when you get a chance. I'll let you know when we are ready to hit Kara's base of operations. Pray for my success, sweetie. I might be done soon, maybe even tomorrow. And once we're done with her, we'll talk about how I can repay your generosity. I mean, amen. Amen. The connection drops. It looks like that's all for now. You gaze at the sea of lights around you for the last time and then start making your way back to street level. Do you have any new words? Don't think so. Go back. Okay, I guess we gotta rest. You come back to your haven after a long night on the town. There's still some time before the sun comes up, but sometimes you just need a little break to relax, watch TV. As you open the door to your haven, it's clear something is wrong. You hear moaning from within. Stepping cautiously inside, you see a man splayed out on the floor. 40s, strong build, wearing a black suit. One of Sophie's servants. His face is a mess and a piece of bone is sticking out of... Oh god, what happened to him? The ghoul moans through his broken teeth, only half cautious. Just as you're about to do something, the door to the apartment flies off its hinges and a loud crash behind your back. Police officer, what? Freeze! Don't move! You turn around to see at least 6 police officers storming your apartment, 2 pointing guns at your face while the rest spread out to check the other rooms. Wait, what's happening? One of the cops pushes past you into the living room. There's a body here. We're going to need an ambulance. He's still breathing. Bewildered, you gather your wits. There must be some way out of this ridiculous situation. Run away, presents. Can I calm down these many people though? I don't feel like that, and my powers are so new. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Run away. There's no way you can allow yourself to be arrested. Better run. Surrounded by cops and their body cameras, you decide to do this the old-fashioned way. Calling on the blood here would blow the Masquerade wide open. You burst into action, dodging past the 2 cops pointing guns at you. If you can make it to the door, you're scot-free. Just as you make it to the doorway, one of the cops tackles you and you fall on your face to the floor. There's more police outside your door. No. Let's get the cuffs on this one. The cop wrenches your arms behind your back as his colleagues all crowd around you. Suddenly, you hear a commotion out in the hallway. Sophie walks into the apartment surrounded by an entourage of serious-looking men and women in dark clothes. Some of them flash badges at the officers present. You feel the power of Sophie's blood, almost like a physical sensation on your skin. There's no saying no to her. This man is with me. When this terrible act of violence occurred, he has an all airtight alibi. You've rarely seen Sophie wield the full extent of her powers. You're not sure how much is supernatural ability, how much is bribery and political connections. It doesn't matter. The injured man works for me. He must be hospitalized this instant. If he doesn't receive a full recovery, there will be consequences. For 15 minutes, you watch as Sophie imperiously orders the police officers around. Some of the people she brought with her also seem to be police, but you're not sure. You catch Sophie's grimacing in the direction of an empty corner, and something tells you that there might be a third vampire in the apartment. Your stalker, perhaps. And the injured man carried away on a stretcher. The cops leave without even checking your ID. That was amazing. How did you control all those people? Blood. Connections. You'll learn it too, some night. Your stalker was here, but now she's left. Her name is Adelaide? Adelaide Davis. In case you were wondering. A lunatic. Truly one of the more pleasant clans. How can I stop this? Should we kill her? Can we talk to her? How can I stop this from happening again? You can't, but we can. I'll arrange a little chat with Miss Davis later. You'll join me in Elysium and deal with this problem like the vampire you are. With words. Sophie leaves you alone. The idea of spending the day in a haven that's just been raided by the police seems risky, but you decide to trust Sophie's assurance. It's not like you have anything else to go on. That was insane. Feels like a little anticlimactic how quickly it ended, though. I feel like there should have been a little bit more trouble. So what are our options now? It's kind of magic. Don't want to do this one because it doesn't feel like it fits with our character. A noisy reporter. The gift that keeps... Should we do him now? I think I'll do him, let's say, for next stream. Somebody's watching me, part 3. You had enough at Adelaide Davis. It's time to head for Elysium and confront her with Sophie by your side. I want to do this guy. I want to see what he's all about. A noisy reporter. There's a sleazy reporter from a gossip magazine sniffing around Sophie's haven. She could use your help with the problem. The street lights flitter into the apartment in a stark with white glow, as if someone were shooting a movie outside. The art pieces display a tasteful expense, entirely fitting the image you have of Sophie. It feels as if 1,000 sins have been committed on these premises, most of them under her benevolent hospitality. Sophie comes to greet you as you enter the living room, shaking her head. You understand that people judge me based on how you dress, don't you? Sophie looks at your clothes as if resigned to your sartorial limitations. I have other things to worry about rather than just shopping for clothes. Sophie walks to the window and looks out. The streetlight is playing on her features. She reminds you of a queen contemplating the unfortunate limitations of her subjects. You think that, as a vampire, at least we would have to worry about the vultures of the press. Unfortunately, when you have power and ability, there are always parasites trying to feed on you. Is there a reporter after you? Yes, a terrible, persistent creature. Sophie steps away from the window and settles down on a sofa, a wine glass with red liquid in it. Blood, treated as not to spoil. You've become good at noticing the scent, even from a distance. She doesn't offer you any as you cautiously sit down across from her. This awful man has been stalking my apartment with a camera. He's gone through my trash, talked to the neighbors, please be a dear, and explained to him that there's nothing for him here. He's gone through my trash, talked to the neighbors, please be a dear, and explained to him that there's nothing for him here. I'm not your errand boy. You're enjoying this. It is about the Masquerade. That's a big deal for us, right? Indeed. You're learning. Isn't this dangerous? Isn't this unavoidable? This must happen. Ooh, this must happen often. Yeah, especially at this day and age with cameras and all types of photos going back to hundreds of years. Or 100 years or so. How do you usually deal with it? Everyone has their own way. Sometimes the problem goes away with a bit of money or sharp words. Other times you need something more. Do you know anything about the reporter? Man, woman, young, old, anything like that? All gossip reporters look the same to me. Pff, of course you would say that. Time for you to go. I have business to attend to. You leave the apartment as Sophie disappears into another room. You don't have a clear idea of the game she plays with the city's mortal and immortal power structures, but she always seems to be making a move. Outside on the street, there is a slight warm drizzle, the kind that gets under your clothes and makes you want to take a shower when you get back to your own haven. No reporters immediately jump out to you. Stay put and keep an eye out. Investigate the area. Use enhanced senses. Now let's try to use our powers. Let's try to use more of our powers. New York smells of people, thousands and thousands of them packed together. It takes a moment for you to get a grip with the full panoply of sensation. But once you do, there's one that sticks out. Cheap aftershave. The strong imprint of someone who has hung around the building a lot, strong enough to persist despite the light rain. Stale cigarette smoke, sweat. You follow your hunch as you walk closer. You reflect on how sometimes being kindred makes things so easy. You enter an alley, a dark, dingy space between two tall buildings. Once upon a time, a place like this might have worried you, made you think of mugging and violence. Now it's clear that the most dangerous thing here is you. The man you are following seems to realize this too. He holds his camera in front of him like a shield. It's a heavy object resting on his pouch. Was it resting on his pouch? Okay. Near the start, you recognize him. You remember the face, the shaded sunglasses, from a picture next to a byline in some trashy paper. The article was about a friend of yours, an artist, who was reported to be dating a celebrity. Okay, we have history, It was true, but the celebrity didn't want to be associated with your friend and broke it off afterwards. For months, your friend cursed Doetry's name? Frank. God, he looks like a nasty old reporter or a sketchy police officer. Hey, don't go around scaring people like that. I recognize you. You're Frank Doetry. I recognize you from that thing. You're a fake reporter, right? I'm a real reporter, damn it. So, a reporter, huh? What are you reporting on? I'm not sure you can help me. Well, perhaps you can. Do you live here? I'm working on a story about a local resident. Her name is Sophie Langley. Everybody knows her in high-class society circles. From the way you look, I'm guessing you might know her too. She's a redhead, pretty as a picture, and there were lots of pictures of her throughout the years. That's the thing. In fact, look at this. Frank pulls out his phone and starts showing you pictures. Some have been downloaded from news sites, while others are photos from society pages of newspapers from past decades. All show Sophie. She has different clothes, hairstyle, makeup, names, but the face remains the same. That's strange. So, what do you think is going on? They're all hot. Other than that, I'm not sure. So you're a stalker. Oh. Are we playing it cool or are we playing nasty? Are we playing cool or playing nasty? Let's go with that one. Beats me. But that's why I'm here to find out. You must have a theory of what's going on. You must have a theory about what's happening. I have a theory or two, but before I print my theory, I need facts to back it up. 3 words. Extreme plastic surgery. All celebrities do it. Only her doctor is better than the rest. You look critically at the photos on Frank's phone. You're looking for a doctor in the alley? No doctor's that good. Don't want to say that. Hook me up with this miracle doctor. Sure, I guess. If you find out who the surgeon is, let me know. I could have some work done. You're right. It makes no sense. Damn. So how would you explain it? I know Sylvie personally. Ancient medicines. Oh, no. It's a hoax. Yeah, let's go with the hoax. Have you considered the possibility that those pictures are a hoax? Sure, anything can be a hoax, but I dug up these old papers from the archives myself. I got to have something usable. Threaten Frank with legal action. Initiate Frank with violence. Ooh, I want our character to go dark. I want him to go dark and nasty, but I don't think this is the right time. Especially not for Sophie. Frank, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you something you can work with. Take it. Frank is clearly taken aback by the change in your tone, but he's a gossip reporter. He's used to people trying to push him. Look, I'm a reporter. You can bluster, but you can't hide the truth. You've made a lot of enemies. Can you afford a lawsuit? We'll put pressure on your paper. Oh. So this one. You know you made lots of enemies. I'm talking about people much worse than Sophie Langley. There's no need for that kind of talk. Suddenly Frank seems serious. He knows he has many enemies and few friends. Desist and I'll leave you alone. This is just business. We can destroy you. No, don't destroy him. I mean, I kind of want to, but not yet. It's your choice. I'm not your enemy. Desist and there won't be any trouble. Frank is taken aback by the brutality of your tone. He's been intimidated many times before. But he also knows that sometimes threats are real. This time, he senses you're not kidding. He's just an aging man trying to salvage a career. You win. I hope you and Sophie Langley have a happy life. I'm getting out of here. Deflated and hunched over, Frank drudges away from the alley. You stare at his receding figure. It's hard not to feel sorry for him. And Sophie Langley, he took on something way too powerful for a small fish like himself. Okay, so let's do There's Somebody Watching Me. Let's do that. Now, it might be the last one for the day. Then we'll do, we have the, what was it? The Silent Hill stream later tonight at 9. Let's do this one. Visiting Asylum with Sophie is always a humbling experience. She's connected, well-known, important. You're a nobody. You've always known this, of course, but it's especially apparent when you arrive with her. Everyone notices her, and she drinks it in like it's her birthright. That's Adelaide Davis. Oh, turn it on. My phone just turned on my thing. Had it on my lap. About to call somebody. I think I was about to call somebody. That's Adelaide Davis. Let's go say hello. You spot the woman Sophie is referring to. Adelaide, your stalker. Intense, disheveled, young-looking, and Machiavellian, if you're understood correctly. As you approach, Adelaide looks at you with undisguised hatred. Oh, that's what she looks like with the powers and stuff. And she looks really creepy. I like the design. Adelaide. What kind of voice? My two favorite people. I love you too, Adelaide. Adelaide looks from Sophie to you and laughs mirthlessly. The sound is creepy enough to make people glance towards you. I'll never stop. You should know that. I'm relentless. What is this all about? I understand why you hate me, but why I hate Hanya? Adelaide looks so angry. For a moment, you fear she'll hit you. Elysium or no. As if you don't know. They called me a creep. That's very insulting, especially to somebody like me. Was that when you were creeping, invisible, in my haven? Yes. Sophie sighs. You have to stop. Otherwise, I'll take this to Coteries. Do that. I have friends much more powerful than him. Just please stop. I was just scared. I was just scared. You're an invisible... You turn invisible and creep on people. Adelaide looks at you as if she was seeing you for the first time. You're very pretty. I like your face, and I like it when people admit to their fear. Is she a love interest? Adelaide locks eyes with you, ignoring Sophie. Let's talk later. We'll have some fun together. Adelaide walks away. Sophie watches her go before she says anything. She's a lunatic. They say all kinds of things. Don't worry about it. She knows that if she crosses the line, there'll be consequences. Sophie steps away to chat with her friends, and you look at the kindred all around you, wondering how many would really help you in times of trouble. Probably not many. Wait, that was it? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Oh, okay, new story. Sophie requests your presence tonight, and it seems urgent. You'll find her already waiting for you, clearly pondering something. It takes a few minutes of awkward silence before she speaks. I require your assistance, Hanya. There is a matter of great importance that I need to ask you to resolve for me. You will find what I'm about to say surprising, but I'm sure I need you to hear me out. I need you to contact an important anarch figure in NYC and arrange a meeting for us. Aren't messing with anarchs forbidden? I was saying a trap, right? This one. Smells like someone's burning something. Someone's cooking eggs and they did it for too long. Oh god, please don't be a fire. Wait, I'm pretty sure we are not supposed to meet with anarchs. We're at war, right? The prince does look unfavorably at those who meet with anarchs. That much is true. You will find that with this, as many others things, the Camellia policies have more than their share of hypocrisy inherent in them. It comes hand in hand with using medieval power structures. What we are forbidden to do, the prince may do willingly. Some of these things can be done in the open, while others are kept secret as to not invite discord and discontent. I need to contact a man, Torque. He is an influential member of the movement, and like most of them, very suspicious of the Carmelia. That's why I'm sending you to extend my invitation. How do I know he'll talk to me? Why me, not go yourself? Because the anarchs see me as too rooted in the Carmelia. I'm well known, and they will be too skeptical of me. From my limited sources adjacent to the movement, I've gathered that your best chance to speak to Torque is to first meet with his right-hand woman, Mia. She's a regular at a club called the Leech Pit. I think it would be best if you presented yourself as an anarch hopeful, a fledgling looking for a place of belonging. Only after you talk to Torque directly, you should mention my name and the meeting. I don't know. It sounds really risky. I don't know, Sophie. It sounds very risky. What if they heard of me? What if I slip up and mention you by accident? I leave the approach to your discretion, but know that you have to accomplish this on your own. I cannot involve myself as there is just too much at stake. After tonight, I suggest that we do not speak of this again until you arrange the meeting. There are many who would jump at the chance to use this against us. With Kaiser, you have proven you can get the job done, even if it requires additional legwork. I trust you to deal with this task as quickly and covertly as possible. Forgive me, but that's all the time I can spare tonight. What I'm asking of you is just part of a bigger whole. Trust me, it'll all be worth it. Better be. I'm risking my neck out here. When I meet with Torque, you will be there, and much will be revealed. I think that when you hear our discussion, you will be glad you helped me set it up. Check with Gregory for the address of the Leech Pit. Have Mia introduce you to Torque. When she does, tell him I wish to meet. Let him pick the time and place, but let it be soon. If he proves to guard it, I'll tell him I have something that will help him gather allies against boss Callahan. That should pique his interest. Good luck. And obviously, not a word about this to anyone, else not even my new friends you might made in recent nights. This stays between us. The way she says that final sentence suggests a not so veiled threat, but her warm smile belies impression. You want her to keep trusting you. You wouldn't want to disappoint her. Gregory gives you the address. The club is in Brooklyn. Apparently, it's some kind of heavy metal bar with decorated concert space. Time to pay this Mia a visit. Ooh! Is it? This is a club? It looks just like a big bar. I was expecting something a little bit more extravagant. The place is teeming with people tonight. You arrive in the middle of a concert. The music is loud, almost deafening, and it takes you a while to get used to it. The noise hurts your ears. This venue isn't suitable for this kind of music, and none of the instruments sound the way they should. The cacophony, the cacophony, the cacophony, the word sets you on edge. A group of a few dozen patrons are tightly packed together, and the smell of their sweat and youthful, excited blood overwhelms you momentarily. It's with some difficulty that you turn to the task turn to the task at hand. Drink, drink, drink. You've heard your share about the anarchs and how they fit into kindred politics, but you only have your short encounter in Corona Park on which to base your actual opinion of the faction. Second, I'm gonna take a small break. Okay, back. I'm sorry about that. I had to help Mama Hanyo out with something. But we're good. We're gonna finish this and end the stream in a few minutes. Make sure this is good. Okay. So, headphones. Sorry, they're under this. Yeah. That might have been just a horrible first impression, but you're keeping your guard up just in case. Mingle with the crowd. As for me at the bar, hit it. You start at the bar. Mia was supposed to be. You start at the bar. Mia was supposed to be a regular. Might as well check how true that is. The bartender turns to you after she pours a line of drinks for a group of rowdy patrons. What can I get you? Have you seen Mia tonight? Looking for a girl called Mia. Any chance your name is Mia? Yeah, so, stupid question. Any chance your name is Mia? She laughs. No, I'm Carol. She looks like a Carol. Not sure why. No, I'm Carol. What do you want with Mia? I heard she's hot. I wanted to meet a local legend. Heard she has connections. I'd like to meet somebody through her. Yeah, she knows people. Who know people? Have a seat somewhere. I'll send her your way if I see her. You find a table to yourself after the group you saw order the drinks before clears out and keep observing the scene at the bar. About 20 minutes pass before a woman approaches you. She's lanky, wearing a jacket a few sizes too big for her frame. It's clear she's got an attitude. She sits across from you without question. Yep, there's a vampire if I've ever seen one. Carol tells me you want to talk to me. Follow me behind the bar. She leads you through the bar to a back door that leads into a side room. Indie metal band posters are plastered on every wall, some of them 20 or more years old, judging from the tour dates. An old sticky table and some rickety chairs are the only piece of furniture here. Sit down. Sure. I think I'm comfortable. Why don't you sit down? You take a seat as the woman leans against one of the walls. The name is Mia. I'm guessing your visit here isn't a happy coincidence. I don't know you, so you're either in New York, you're either new in New York, or keep an outstanding low profile. Both sound suspect, so before we take these pleasantries further, answer me this. Who do you run with? Sylvie Langley. Carmelia, but I'm looking to switch. I'm independent. Ooh, I'm independent. I'm a strong, independent vampire that don't need no clan. Isn't that adorable? Listen, fledgling, you don't get to be the first fresh in the game and not pick a side. Those Second Inquisition fucks are all too happy to pick on delusional kids like you. So are you the comms? They offer you rewards apparently for your servitude, but never actually deliver. Fortunately for you, there's another option. But before I get to that, let's get one thing straight. Let's get one thing out of the way. She leans in. If this is some clever ploy to oust me from my domain, or you're here to spy on me and the movement, I'll make sure that you don't enjoy joy on death much longer. Got it? You can tell it's purely rhetorical question. Right. Here's the pitch. Like Armelia likes to think they're the vanilla option with the Prince Bitch Pahard, pretending that they were always in charge, but New York has never been a fully cammy city. They might have won the city in '99, but cams have had their asses handed to them many times over the years. And the movement has been here at least as long as they have. Hell, I moved to New York City before World War II, and that was a good while after I saw the Camellia for what they are. A way to keep us all subservient, and in line. The Ivory Tower will tell you they're the only safeguard for the traditions. And that's kind of the problem. There's only one tradition in the movement feels should be There's only one tradition we in the movement feel should be respected. The Masquerade, obviously. Everything else, ask the prince, and she'll tell you it's the logical continuation of the Masquerade. But really, it's just a way to keep the elders powerful and in control. She grimaces. But here's the thing. For all the talk of us bloodsuckers being solitary creatures, we need a community to keep the Masquerade. Community, yes, but authority, not so much. We need a council of peers to keep the assholes and power drunk fledglings in check, but not a feudal prince to tell us where to feed or who to hunt down when they step on our toes. She takes a brief break from her ingredient. So you anarchs don't have a ruler. Sounds too good to be true. Let's go with this one. A ruler, no. But leaders, sure. Most follow old boss Callahan's lead. Most, but not you. So I should talk to Callahan. So is Callahan like an anarch prince? Callahan is like a prince, but for anarchs? Yeah, that's about right. Which isn't the way things should be. If you're concerned about being well received in the city, you might need to go through Callahan. But if you're serious about the anarch cause itself, he's not your guy. Callahan eats up fledglings like you and shits out self-preservation. His position as Baron is mighty shaky now. Not least due to the fact he's backstabbed more than his share of allies. So he's doing what any other old fart in position of power would do. He's doubling down, negotiations are out, intimidation is in, tightening ranks as a precaution against the Second Inquisition. She surprises you by hacking and spitting on the ground in disgust. If you spent some time with the comms, that should sound very familiar to you. He's no better than Panhard, and her cronies are at this point. No, you need to contact Torque, and wouldn't you know it? It's your lucky night because I'm the lick to do it. I guess I'm the lick to do it through. Why Torque? How is Torque different? Yeah, how is Torque different? Motherfucker, you're really asking for it? Motherfucker, you're really asking for it. Her anger flares up again. I'll pretend that was just a naive question and not a half-assed jab. Torque is a leader, a local baron who's overseeing a small domain, but doing a very good job of it. Callahan knows this, so he's giving him shit. Torque is taking it like a champ. He's smart like that. For one of us rebels, he's got the patience of a saint. Makes you think back to how things used to be way back when, if the stories are to be believed. Anyway, you want to meet him? I'm going to require a good show of will first. Or can I just ask elsewhere? What do you have in mind? Come on. That's fair. What do you have in mind? She flashes you a mischievous half smile. I appreciate your readiness, but I don't have the details now. Just ask for me at the bar when you're able. I'll leave something for you, and we'll take it from here. Take it from there. Now come on. I gotta go. She walks you out of the bar, and you go your separate ways. Seems like there's nothing more to do than return here later and see if Mia really can help you contact Twerk. I want to do some more, but I know I need to stop. I need to stop. Okay, so we're gonna quit for now. And I'm gonna see you all. That's first. I'm gonna see you all later tonight, so around 9 o'clock, maybe a little bit after, because knowing me. And we're gonna do some more Silent Hill. Try to get a little bit of that game done. But until then, this was fun. I love playing the Masquerade. I really want to do more morning streams. I'm gonna try to make that thing. Maybe I can do that tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna try to get that done. I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow. Let's try. But until then, until later tonight, I've been Hanyo, your Demon Cinephile. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye. Bye.